Reuters, United States ski and snowboard have emergency evacuation plans in place for athletes, coaches and officials should a nightmare scenario unfold during the Pyeongchang Winter Olympics, the head of Global Rescue told Reuters on Wednesday. The crisis response specialists believe the prospect of such a scenario is very low but will be prepared to evacuate the athletes at a moment's notice if the tensions between the United States and North Korea escalate into a wider conflict. And while Global Rescue deployed teams to provide security and other critical emergency services for United States ski and snowboard at the 2006, 2010 and 2014 Winter Games, plans for Pyeongchang will be more robust. Anytime, whether it be for this Olympic Games or Sochi, we always have emergency action plans in place in typically primary, secondary and tertiary means of egress, company CEO Dan Richards told Reuters. That is no different here except those plans have been made even more robust. We've had a series of advance trips and site visits to make sure all the resources we might need are in place. We have the plans, we have the resources in place. Our only hope is we never have to use them. The likelihood that something happens we all think is very low, but given the tension between the United States and North Korea there has been an additional level of concern and forethought put into how the U.S. is going to attend these Olympic Games. The Pyeongchang Winter Games, which open on February 9, come as the U.S. steps up pressure on North Korea to abandon a weapons program aimed at developing nuclear missiles capable of hitting the United States mainland. The standoff between the United States and North Korea has raised fears of a new conflict on the Korean peninsula, which has remained in a technical state of war since the 1950-53 Korean War ended in an armistice, not a peace treaty. Rogue regime. The United States has said that all options are on the table in dealing with North Korea. It says it would prefer a diplomatic rather than military solution, but that North Korea has given no indication it is willing to discuss its nuclear program. I don't think there has ever been a situation where the games have been held 70 miles from an enemy that would be very happy to disrupt the games and injure and kill as many people as they could, said Richard. They, South Korea, have a modern security force, a modern military, certainly modern health care. So for a one-off event there are going to adequate resources to deal with them, and we have the ability, if necessary, to get people out of the country very, very quickly. Here you have a rogue regime, a very unpredictable environment, and the full range of negative possibilities needs to be prepared for, and that is what we are doing. The nightmare scenario that nobody wants to have happen is a more widespread conflict, and that would be an unprecedented tragedy if that were to occur, and our hope is it doesn't. Richards was tight-lipped on what those emergency plans might be, but noted that Global Rescue does have experience coordinating the evacuation of large numbers as they did during turbulent events around the Arab Spring in 2006. The thing about this is that it is hard to know what the other side might try and do, said Richards.